Topic is recursion. Now, first introduction about recursion. Recursion means defining a problem in terms of itself. This can be a very powerful tool in writing algorithms. Recursion comes directly from mathematics, where there are many examples of expressions written in terms of themselves. For example, Fibonacci, factorial, GCD, greatest common denominator, Fourier transform, etc. Now, what is the definition of recursion? How we can define recursion? Recursion is the process which comes into existence when a function calls a copy of itself to work on a smaller problem. Any function which calls itself is called recursive function, and such function calls are called recursive call. See void f1. F1 is a function, and we define this f1. Now this function called recursively. Now, for example, recursion may be applied to sorting, searching, and traversal problems. Now, what are the advantages of recursion? Reduce unnecessary calling of function. This is the first benefit of recursion. Second benefit, it can solve problems in easy way while its iterative solution is very weak and complex. Third benefit, complex case analysis and nested loops can be avoided. Fourth benefit, recursion can lead to more readable and efficient algorithm descriptions. Fifth benefit, recursion is also a useful way for defining objects that have a repeated similar structural form. Now, what are the drawbacks of recursion? A recursive solution is always logical and it is very difficult to trace, that is, debug and understand. This is the first drawback. Second drawback, in recursive, we must have an if statement somewhere to force the function to return without the recursive call being executed. Otherwise, the function will never return. Third drawback, recursion takes a lot of stack space, usually not considerable when the program is small and running on a PC. Fourth drawback is recursion uses more processor time. Now these are the drawbacks of recursion. Now what are the properties of recursion? There are two properties of recursion. The first, base criteria and progressive approach. Now first property, base criteria, there must be at least one base criteria or condition such that when this condition is met, to function stops calling itself recursively. Second property is progressive approach. The recursive calls should progress in such a way that each time a recursive call is made, it comes closer to the base criteria. Now these are the properties of recursion. Now what are the applications of recursion? Now the first application of recursion is a factorial. Now this factorial algorithm use a recursive approach to find the factorial of n. Now these are the steps to calculate factorial of any number using recursion. Now these are the steps. First step, start. Step 2, read, take input n. Step 3, if n double equal to 0, then print fact equal to 1 and exit. Step 4, call factorial fact comma n minus 1. Step 5, set factorial equal to n star fact. This is a formula to calculate factorial. Step 6, return. Now next application is addition of two number. We solve this problem, addition of two number, using recursion. Now these are the steps. Addition of two number using recursion. The step 1 is start. Step 2, take two numbers n1 and n2. Step 3, call the function addition and pass the given two numbers. Step 3, check if the base condition, that is if n double equal to 0 is satisfied. If it is true, then return 0. Step 4, if above condition is false, then return num plus num1 plus addition in bracket num1 comma num2 minus 1. Here returning num1 and calling the function addition again. And step 5, the above two steps repeats until the base condition becomes true. Now these are the steps for the addition of two number using recursion. Now next application of recursion is a multiplication of two number. Now this is very simple algorithm to multiply two numbers, but to solve this problem using recursion. Step 1 start, step 2 take two numbers n1, num1 and num2. Step 3 call the function multiply and pass the given two numbers. Step 4 check if the base condition, that is if num2 double equal to 0 is satisfied. If it's true, then return 0. Step 5 if above condition is false, then return num1 plus multiply in bracket num1 comma num2 minus 1. Here returning num1 and calling the function multiply again. Step 6, the above two steps repeats until the base condition becomes true. Now these are the applications of recursion. Now next topic is queue. Now what is queue? Queue is a linear data structure in which the insertion and deletion operations are performed at two different ends. In a queue data structure, adding and removing of elements are performed at two different positions. The insertion is performed at one end and deletion is performed at other end. In a queue data structure, the insertion operation is performed at a position which is known as rear, and the deletion operation is performed at a position which is known as front. In a queue data structure, the insertion and deletion operations are performed based on FIFO, that is first in first out principle. In a queue data structure, the insertion operation is performed using a function called enqueue, and deletion operation is performed using a function called dequeue. Now see the example. Queue after inserting 25, 30, 51, 60 and 85. After inserting 5 element, front is 25 and rear is 85. Now next is what are the applications of queue. Now first application of queue is surviving request on a single shared resources like printer, CPU, task scheduling, etc. Second application, in a real life call center phone system will use queues to hold people, calling them in an order until a service representative is free. Third application, handling of interrupts in real time systems. The interrupts are handled in the same order as they arrive, first come, first served. Fourth application, multi-programming platform system. Fifth, printer server routines. Sixth application, various application software is also based on queue data structure. And seventh application of queue, operating systems often maintain a queue of processes that are ready to execute or that are waiting for a particular event to occur. Now these are the applications of queue. Now representation of queue. Now there are the two ways to represent queue in memory. The first is queue using array. Second, queue using linked list. Now both the topic will discuss in next video lecture.